what we've been talking about all summer is about decision making. We're using a class called 10-10-10. I was looking for the copy of my book. It's probably over there somewhere. Anyway, 10-10-10 is a book by Susie Welch, and it's all about making decisions and looking at it holistically. How will this decision affect my life in 10 minutes or short term? It doesn't have to be a literal 10 minutes. How will this decision affect my life in 10 weeks or 10 months? Midterm decision. And how will this decision affect me in 10 years, long term? So that's what we've been talking about all summer. We've been talking about 10-10-10 for work and 10-10-10 for dealing with your kids. And today we're going to talk about 10-10-10 and love. 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 It's called The Code of Love. Today's class is called The Code of Love. So, using the chat box for those that were in class last week, what do you remember? There's kind of a cheat right there in the second portion where it kind of tells you what we talked about. So if anybody wants to write in the chat box about what they remember from last week, please feel free. It was either the class with me or the class with Miss Krista. All right. Okay, I got some yeses. All right, it's fine. I'll go ahead and tell you what we talked about last week. We talked about how you shape your children. What you teach your children is what they are going to remember as they grow, okay? And it's very important that you teach your children in positive, affirming ways. If you have your children in a home that's positive and loving and healthy, then they're going to grow up knowing that positive, healthy, and loving is normal. If you raise your children in a household that's unhealthy and harmful, they're going to grow up thinking unhealthy and harmful means love, okay? So that's what we talked about last week. So enough of the rewind. Let's talk about relationships. So we're going to talk about how your values affect your relationships. And a lot of people, when they hear the term relationship, they immediately think about romantic. Boo thing over here, girlfriend over here, boyfriend over there, husband, you know. But relationships aren't just romantic. You have relationships with your friends. You have relationships with your siblings, your cousins, your parents, your kids. So there's all sorts of types of relationships. And we are going to talk about romantic relationships as well. But today we're talking about relationships as a whole. So we're going to start early. For my new students, I talked about how, look, this class is what you put into it. I'm not going to make you do anything, but you're also not going to get anything out of it if you don't participate, okay? So you can have a trusty, dusty little notebook that you keep and you write in for class. And I know I just said semester's over next week. You can keep this notebook for the fall. It's not going to go anywhere. So you can use a little notebook. Some of y'all know I often say you can use the back of some junk mail. I received a gift. This is my gift receipt. It's blank on the back. I can write on that, right? You can also use the chat box or your memory. But we're going to get into a little bit of introspection. Because as we've learned with 10-10-10, your decisions are made based off of your values. And in order to get to the root of your values, you've got to ask yourself some questions. So let's get to the nitty-gritty. Ooh. At this point, you should have your notebook or junk mail, or your brain is already with you, right? Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the chat box exists. This is your comfort level. The chat box is open where everybody can read it. So if you don't feel comfortable putting your information in the chat box, you don't have to, okay? Once again, you can put it in your notebook. Question number 1. What are the behaviors or values that would be a deal breaker in a mate? You know how everybody says you need to have a list of what you want? Well, what's the deal breaker? What's a deal breaker? So write that down in your notebook or in your junk mail or in the running list in your head, and or use the chat box. For me, a deal breaker, and once again, it's not just romantic relationships. This is familial relationships as well. But for me, a deal breaker is intentional harm. You know, people accidentally hurt people. That's just life. You know, people may say things that, you know, oh, I didn't mean to hurt you. But intentional harm, I don't want people like that in my life. I need love, care, and nurture in my life. So if you're somebody that would intentionally harm somebody, I don't need you. So what are the behaviors or values that would be a deal breaker in a mate for you? I feel like the Jeopardy music should be playing. Okay. Ooh, we got a student says, can't deal with people that lie. Got not honest and faithful, must have integrity. Yes, y'all. And you know, that shows that you guys know your worth, that you are not willing to deal with people that are dishonest or lie or don't have integrity. Yes, high five. All right, question número dos. What are the behaviors or values that would be a deal breaker in a friend? In a friend. Ooh, we got somebody, a deal breaker is a violent person. Can't deal with people who are not trying to better themselves. Ooh, woo. Somebody that's stagnant and okay with whatever life they're leading and they don't want better for themselves. I can understand that. Okay, so what are your deal breakers in a friend? One of my deal breakers with friends is I need reciprocity. I'm a great friend. I'm gonna toot my own horn. Pat my own back. I'm a great friend. And so if my friends are not trying to give me the same energy, the same love, the same support, then we're not friends. We're associates. Okay. People who don't want to help me thrive, or people who are always about themselves. Okay, so no selfishness. Must be loyal and have good personal goals. Okay, all right. See you. All right, question number 3. What's French? Toi? Yeah, right? Toi? Yeah. Question number 3. How do you handle uncomfortable situations? Do you walk away? Do you confront? What do you do? Do you hide? How do you handle uncomfortable situations? Somebody says they don't like negativity. Okay. So it depends on what environment the uncomfortable situation is. If it's work, I can't really walk away from work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to have to deal with it. Whether you consider it a confrontation or just standing up for myself, I would have to do it in a work situation. But if it's out and about, like y'all, I don't fight. Okay, I'm too grown for that. Maybe back in the day when I was younger and dumber, but I don't fight. So if there's a confrontation happening out and about, I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna get in my car. I'm gonna go home. All right, so we've got a student that says, I walk away because I honestly know I can go from 1 to 10 quick, something I need to work on. I'm glad you know you need to work on it. That's the first step, is even knowing you need to work on it. Definitely walk away. I don't do conflict. Yes. Must be a value-added person. Yes, okay, y'all. Question number 4. So this kind of goes back to number 3. If you are in an uncomfortable situation, do you speak up? And whether your answer is yes or no, why? Why do you speak up, or why do you not speak up? Once again, I'm not a fan of confrontation, but advocating for yourself doesn't necessarily have to be a confrontation. And I'm learning this. When I was in, college and high school, I automatically thought of confrontation and advocating for myself as the same thing, and they aren't. So as I get wiser and older, I'm starting to realize I can stand up for myself without it being a confrontation. I would speak up if I have something relevant to say. I would always speak up for my children. Yes. I would walk away, except like you said, cannot walk out at work. I will stand up for myself. I like you to understand how something makes me feel. Yes, 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 yes. Y'all are rock stars. All right. Let's get into more introspection. We got some more questions going. Oh, and y'all, let me tell y'all something about my hair. Okay. I know it's off topic, but I just got to share. So look, my friend has natural hair. And she had this dope style. It was like 2 French braids, and she had it wrapped around. And then she had these 2, and I tried to do it yesterday. And y'all, as you can see, the only thing I have are these. And my hair, y'all, that's why I'm glad I'm virtual. So I can practice hairstyles without actually having to go out in public with them. Let's go to the next page. All right. So thank you, boo. Maybe my style will catch on is the comment. Thank you, boo. All right, so next question. It really should be question number 5, but it's fine. We're just going to start over. Question number 1 on page 2. Do you do things that make you feel uncomfortable in order to please others? That's a tough one, right? I know in my younger years, I absolutely would have done things that made me uncomfortable to please others, because at that time I was trying to figure myself out. And it was just like, well, I want them to like me. This was like middle school, high school. Once again, now as an adult, I know better. Like, y'all gonna like me for who I am or you don't, but I'm not gonna do anything to try and please you, especially if it makes me uncomfortable. Oh, no. Question number, not often, but there are times that I know I push my feelings back to make someone else happy. Well, I'm glad you said not often. Let's work on not at all. But I know it's difficult because when you're parents, sometimes your kids' feelings come before yours. It's hard. I'm not going to lie. It's hard. I used to, but not anymore. Only if I know that the person really needs that help for a good reason. For my children, sometimes, yep. That's exactly what I was just saying. It's hard when it comes to your children. You know, your children didn't ask to be here. So sometimes you got to put that pride aside. All right. Question number 2, page 2. What do your answers tell you about what is most important to the way you live your life? So are your answers telling you that your happiness is important? Are the answers telling you that you're focused more on other people than on yourself? What are these answers as you look over the 4 answers from the previous page and the first answer on this page? What is that starting to tell you? A little bit of both, a little bit of others before myself, and a little bit of myself before others. And, that sounds healthy if it's a little bit of both, depending on the situation. If somebody that you have a relationship with, whether friend, family, or romantic, if they're starving and you have an abundance of food, well, then maybe you would put them first. You're taken care of. Why not give them some grapes or some chicken or something, Let's see. I do whatever makes me happy. You have to be true to yourself and not plastic. Try to put others first. Have to work on paying attention to myself. Yes. You are important too. What am I always telling y'all? You are worthy. You're just as important as anybody else. And you cannot give from an empty vessel. If you are constantly giving, and people are taking, what's left for you? That I need reciprocal relationships. That's right. Absolutely, you need reciprocal relationships. Absolutely. You deserve reciprocal relationships. Yes, you deserve that. You're worth that. Yeah. All right, question number 3. And this one may take a moment. And for some people, you'll already know the answer. And for some of you, you might need to think about it. What matters most to you in life? Mm. Yeah. Okay. I've got someone on here that says God and family. Okay. My children and my family. I'm seeing a thread here. I'm seeing some similarities here. Okay. And there's no right or wrong answer. There's somebody out there that's like money. And if money is most important to you in life, then that's your truth. For the people that have responded, they said God, family, children, family, family. There's no right or wrong. It's your life. And whatever is most important to you is whatever is most important to you. All right. So we've talked about excavations. Excavations are basically digging deep down inside to figure out what's there. We talked about how, paleontologists and archaeologists excavate the land and they dig up. So we're going to excavate ourselves. Family, love, and peace. God, my husband and children, my life and family. Peace, definitely. Okay. All right. I see y'all. All right. So let's start excavating ourselves. So once again, trusty dusty notebook. This costs like 70 cents at Target. Oh, well, it's on the floor now. Back of some junk mail in your head or in the chat box. Let's start excavating some of our values. So in my ideal relationship, and there's no right or wrong answers with this either. How much time do I spend with my partner and how much time do I spend alone? So 50-50. You want to spend 50% of the time alone and 50% of the time with your partner. You want to do 75-25, 75% of the time with your partner, 25% alone, or vice versa, 75% alone, 25% with your partner. Or you want to do 99%. We're not going to say 100%. Do you want to do 99% with your partner and 1% alone, or vice versa? 99% alone and 1% of your partner. What works for you? So for me, I like time with, if I am in a relationship with somebody, it's because I like spending time with them. So for me, it would be more than 50-50. But once again, there's no right or wrong answer. It's you. What do you think? Question number 2. Okay, we've got here, I spend more time with myself because of my work schedule, and that works for me. That's right. Whatever works for you and whoever you're in a relationship with is what matters. It doesn't matter if, well, my friend said if he doesn't want to do this, then what works in your relationship is what works in your relationship. Question number 2, how much of myself do I keep to myself? And how much of myself do I share with my partner? Do you share everything about yourself with your partner? Do you share a little bit? A lot? Once again, no right or wrong answers. 90% with my partner, okay. I'm just trying to grow as a person right now, so I'm spending more time with just me. Yes. 60% with my partner, 40% alone. I have time for myself and to entertain my hobbies. Yes. Look, y'all, don't ever let any relationship consume you. And I don't just mean romantic. Even the relationship with your kids should not consume you, okay? You deserve to, if you like reading, you deserve time every week to read by yourself. If you enjoy hikes on a nature trail, you deserve time to be on a nature trail by yourself. You have to be able to refill your own happiness tank. Let's see. I keep mostly to myself, mostly because of my issues. I share a lot. I'm a talker. Yes, most of the time with my partner. He's my best friend. Oh, that's so sweet. Just enough, but not everything. Keep a little skeletons in the closet. Okay. What is this alone time? Look, I know it's not easy, and shoot, it could be impossible for some people, depending on your support system. If you have a support system, then let them help. I know so many people. Oh my goodness, y'all. One of my sorority sisters, she's a single mom, but her parents are always willing to help. And so she'll be, stressed and overworked and just at the end of her rope. And I'm like, well, didn't your parents just ask to take your kid last weekend? Well, yeah, but I didn't want to overwhelm them. But they asked you if they could take your child. If your support system is asking you to help, if they want to help you, let them help you. They would not be asking if they weren't willing to help. Okay? And I know that doesn't go for everybody. Some people don't have a support system. And right now during COVID, it's hard to create a support system. But if you have a support system, use it. Let's see. I share just a little because I'm careful not to invest too much into a relationship I'm not 100% sure about. That's fair. That's fair. All right. Question number 3. Where do I fall on the spectrum of commitment? Ooh, do I value monogamy, or do I place a higher value on independence and experimentation? Once again, no right or wrong answer. Some people have waited their whole life to be married. Some people don't ever want to be married. Some people want 27 kids. Some people want 0 kids. There's no right or wrong answer. It's your life, your values, the way you feel about things. But if you value monogamy and you dating some dude and he's just like, well, I'm just trying to see where we going. I don't really want to be committed right now. If you value monogamy, guess what you do? You walk away and go find you a man that values monogamy, right? Right. So in order to know I value this or I don't value this, you got to look inside and figure it out. And that goes back to, what do you do in uncomfortable situations? I value monogamy, but I don't want to rock the boat because I really like him. And he told me straight up he doesn't want to be tied down, but I'm going to wait it out because eventually he's going to fall in love with me. He's going to know I'm going to be the only one for him. No, don't put yourself through that. Okay? If you value monogamy, and you are dating somebody that doesn't, keep it moving. Okay? All right. Let's see. Number 4, how do I feel about marriage as an institution? Once again, some people don't care about marriage. Some people feel like it's a piece of paper. Some people feel like, oh, well, it's a common law marriage. We've been living together for 10 years anyway. Some people feel like marriage protects them. Not all states recognize common law marriages. So you can be like, but we've been together for 27 years. And then something happens, and then the life insurance money doesn't go to you. But we're kind of married. No. So if you value that piece of paper, guess what? Money's a piece of paper too, and people value that. So if you value a marriage certificate and you want marriage, and you're with somebody that says, I'm never getting married, And then on the other hand, like I said, there are people that don't want to be married. And if you meet somebody and they say, I don't ever plan on being married, then you believe them. Okay? All right, let's see what's on this next page. In my ideal relationship, I told y'all we were going to go deep today. Okay, we got a lot of questions today. Number 5, am I comfortable with a partner who's different from me, or do I need to be with someone who shares my values? To what extent? So, you know how they say oil and water don't mix, but some people are okay with that. So do you want somebody that has the exact same hobbies as you, listens to the exact same music as you, or does that not matter? And as long as the foundation is similar, spirituality or religion, as long as that's the same, then that's okay. Some people don't even care whether or not it's the same religion. So it's your life, your decision, but you have to know what you're willing to put up with. I love this marriage thing. Yes. Okay. All right. Question number 6. Do I feel the need to make important decisions together with my partner, or am I comfortable with one of us having greater input and control in the relationship? So do you want to make decisions with your partner, or are you cool with either you being the one making all the decisions or them making all of the decisions together? Together. Depends on what it is, but mostly together. Yeah. Okay. In my world, that's how relationships work. It should be a teamwork, partnership, but not every relationship requires that. You just have to know what you want. Question number 7. What kind of qualities do I want my partner to bring to our relationship? And what qualities feel unimportant? I know, when I was younger, looks were like so important. And now I'm like, looks don't matter. Is he funny and smart? Okay. Because that doesn't go away. Is he funny and smart? So what qualities do you want your partner to bring to the relationship? And what qualities just don't matter? And everybody, is looking for different things. But you need to know what's important to you. Okay, positive outlook and perspective. Okay, together mostly. Okay. Oh, I think I make them together, but my partner says I usually take control. Okay, good understanding. All right. Mentally and spiritually stimulating and connected. Okay. All right. So let's talk about friendship and family relationships. So take boo thing out the picture. Okay, let's think about family relationships and friendship relationships. Your cousins, your aunts and uncles, grandparents, your bestie since you were 2 years old, your best friend from 3 years ago. Let's move our brains to that. Okay. Question number 1. When I think about the friendships and family relationships in my life, what is my strongest feeling? Is it joy, frustration, anger, ambivalence? Do you not think about those friendships or family relationships at all? Is it not important to you? Joy, joy, joy. Yes. Spontaneous, encouraging. I would want someone who could make me laugh. It is not super important what he looks like, but it would be great if he's good looking. Okay. I love that you said your friendships and family relationships bring you joy. Because if your friendships or your family relationships are bringing you down, then why be in them? I know you can't control who your family is, but you can control who you allow into your space. Super happiness. Yes, yes, yes. If your friends are not bringing you joy, why are they your friends? If your aunts and uncles are not bringing you happiness, you don't have to talk to them. They still gonna be related to you, but you don't have to talk to them. Or you can talk to them. Oh, I'll see you at Christmas. All right, bye. It's your life. Question number 2. Do I prefer having a large circle of friends or a few close ones? Do I prefer a large circle of friends or a few close ones? No right or wrong. It's whatever brings you happiness. A few meaningful friendships, okay? Ooh, question number 3. How much do I care about being considered a good friend by others? How much do I enjoy listening to others and helping them work through problems that come up? So do you care about being considered a good friend? Do you like listening to others? Do you like helping others? Yes, you have to be the friend that you want in your life. I agree. I agree with that. Yes. I'm reading it the way it was written. Yes, okay. All right, okay. Sounds like y'all have given these questions thought before because the answers are coming just like that. All right, so some more. Oh, my first time in this class and I'm having fun. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I'm totally gonna tell my boss because that's a compliment. Thank y'all. Don't mind me, I have no sense. Okay, so next page, we're doing more excavating. We're still talking about friendships and family. How important is it to me to maintain long-term friendships? Am I interested in remaining close to old friends who may no longer share my values? Do I generally consider these relationships to be a source of pride or a chore? So look, y'all, this is a loaded question. There are people that have been friends with somebody since kindergarten or fourth grade, and they're still friends now in their 20s and 30s, but they don't even like the person. They're literally just friends just to say that they're friends. And ooh, look, I say this every time I have this class. I could throttle Drake for that whole No New Friends song from a couple of years ago because people really started to say, no new friends, my circle's closed. Do y'all know how detrimental that is? People learn, like, grow and grow apart sometimes. People change interests. People change locations. Can you imagine if everybody took on that mantra of no new friends, how lonely it would be? What happens if you move? What happens if you change careers? What happened, you have to be willing to open your heart to new people because you don't know what you could be missing out on. But let me get off my soapbox and let me read in the chat what you guys say. I feel like I've outgrown people and I'm okay with it. Yes, yes. And you know what? And it's okay. Somebody posted earlier about, friends that aren't willing to grow. It's okay if you have a friend from middle school and they still stuck in their middle school mindset. You are not a bad friend if you're like, you know what? We don't have any of the same interests anymore. All you want to do is sit and do whatever we did back in middle school. And I'm on my grown woman stuff and I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to go to school. I'm trying to get this promotion. I'm trying to write this thing, I'm trying to have my own business. There is nothing wrong with saying, we have different goals at this point in my life. I will love you forever. Reach out if you need help, but I don't have anything to talk to you about. That's okay. And if you have helped them to try and get them, to move with you and they're not willing, you can't force somebody to grow with you, So I just want to throw out there, it's great to have friendships for decades, but don't eliminate making new friends just because you on your little no new friends kick. I have a friend of over 15 years and we are still good friends. I honestly do not know how to make new friends. So I have to learn because some friends do you wrong and you become guarded. Ooh, ain't that the truth? Putting your guard down takes time. It's very rare to meet somebody and be like, oh my God, we're besties. We met an hour ago. It takes time. And that's okay. Like I have groups of friends. I have groups of friends. One group is from when we were 12 years old. We've been friends for 26 years now. I have a group of friends from college. We're still cool. I have a group of friends from Virginia. I moved to Virginia for 10 years. And then I have one friend that we met in 2018. And just this year, we've gotten closer. So you just have to be willing to let people come into your life and take your time. The friend that I've recently, the one that I met in 2018, like she is a close friend. I was like, if I ever get married, she gonna be one of my bridesmaids. Like, and that's because I allowed and she allowed a friendship to grow. So yeah, it takes time and it takes, the willingness to let your guard down over time. Once again, we've known each other for 2 years and we're just now getting close. So take your time. You're going to learn as you go. And just be willing to put yourself out there. All right. Question number 2. What do I think about the relative importance of in my life of friends versus family? Ooh, woo. So look, y'all, everybody's different. My relatives, what they're calling family, I call relatives. I don't have a relationship with my relatives. My friends are my family. I know there's that quote, blood is thicker than water. My response is water tastes better. Okay. So look, like I said earlier, just because somebody is a relative doesn't necessarily mean that they're good for you. So most people, when I get to this question, say family first, then friends. I am of one of those where my friends are my family and they come from relatives. So once again, no right or wrong. It's how you live your life. I'm going to use that one. Yes, girl, I need to put it on like a t-shirt, right? Well, I don't keep friends, but I hope to have a very good one. Yeah, you got to have people in your life that support you and that you can support, because it can be very lonely, especially during COVID. You got to have people you can reach out to. Let's see. Some friends are more family to you, but I've been blessed to have the best family and some friends that are just like family. That's so beautiful. That is so beautiful. Yeah, I remember growing up watching The Cosby Show and I was like so jealous because I really thought that's how families were. And I'm like, I don't have that. Like, I love it when people have amazing relatives. My husband has been the best friend I've had. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. That makes me happy to hear you, to read that. All right. So question number 3, how much time do I need to myself as opposed to time for socializing? Honestly, I should have taken this question off because this PowerPoint was written before COVID. So I'm quite sure at this point, everybody's ready to socialize in some way, shape, or form because of the lack of being able to go and party and have a cookout over here and have a pool party over here or go travel over here. I know things are difficult right now with COVID. What has been getting me through, because like I said, I have groups of friendships. So the people in Virginia, I can't see them because I can't travel to Virginia. They have small kids. They're not about to travel to Atlanta. We're a hot spot. So you have to have ways of making it work. So I am not a fan of Marco Polo, so I use Glide every day with my groups of friends. So I might not talk about the same things with each group, but I have different glides for different friends groups. And then for the friends that are here in Atlanta, we might do a social distance thing where, like last weekend, we wanted to eat a Philly cheesesteak. So we met up, got some Phillies, and ate at different tables on a patio. So we were close enough to be able to hear each other, but we were at separate tables eating and talking while social distancing. So you gotta figure these things out, y'all. And whatever works for you. If you want to do phone calls every day, if you want to do Zoom meetings, I have a group of friends on Tuesdays at 6:30. We do a Zoom meeting. So you just got to be creative and figure it out. All right. So introspection. Out of all these questions that I've just, gone through with you guys, which one was the easiest to answer? And actually, I think I might know which one was the easiest just because of how quickly the responses were coming in. But the question is, what do you value most in life? And it was God and family, 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 my husband, my kids, my family, my family. So I am going to say, I'm going to go out on a limb. And I'm going to say that was the easiest question to answer. I got some yeses. Yes. Okay. Which was the most difficult question to answer? I am going to say, based off of the response time, it might have been how much time do you need to yourself versus with your partner. It might have been the how do you handle uncomfortable situations? No new friends. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, based off of which one was easiest for you to answer and which one was the most difficult for you to answer, why do you think that is? Why was that other question, whatever the other question is, why was that so difficult to answer? And that's an internal thing. You don't have to write anything in the chat box. That's introspection, trying to figure things out. Okay, so someone said that it's a topic I haven't really spent much time to think about. That's fair. If you haven't really thought about it, it is going to take you a minute to respond. So fair enough. But that's the purpose of these classes, to get you to think in ways that maybe you haven't before, you know? Get to know yourself on a deeper level, get to know why you interact with people in certain ways. Like, that's what we're here for. And to give you diapers, you know. The diapers are the cherry on top, though. All right, so question. Can you use 10, 10, 10 in dealing with the relationships in your life? So I know there's some new people on here. Once again, 10, 10, 10. How does this decision affect me in 10 minutes, 10 weeks, or 10 months, 10 years? So when you're thinking about, do I want to stay in this relationship with this dude? Could you use 10, 10, 10? Like, in 10 minutes, he gonna get on my nerves because he's not gonna text me back. In 10 weeks, oh, things are going to be going good because we're going to be living together. In 10 years, you know, can you use 10, 10, 10 to start thinking about your relationships and how you interact with your relationships? I think you could. You just have to know what question to ask in order to figure out what works for you. Because we've talked about 10, 10, 10 in, well, how do I get my dream career? Well, I got to research, or I got to take this test, or I got to go to school. So using 10, 10, 10 for relationships could also be a helpful tool with practice, which is what we've been doing. Do you see your personal values reflected in your relationships? So if you value family, do you see that reflected in your relationships? Are you spending time with your family? Are you being kind and considerate and nurturing and loving to your family? Or when your family pop up on a Zoom meeting for the second time in the month, are you rolling your eyes like, I don't want to do this birthday Zoom? If you value family, and your kid is asking you to watch episode 27 of Paw Patrol for the 100th time, are you rolling your eyes and hiding that episode of Paw Patrol or deleting it from your laptop? Or are you like, all right, let me put some headphones in so the baby doesn't know I'm not listening? So are your relationships reflecting what you think is most important? Are you ignoring some of your personal values in order to keep peace in the relationship? Ooh. We watch Toy Story 20 times a day. Are you ignoring some of your personal values in order to keep peace in a relationship? And look, we've probably all been guilty of doing this at some point in our life. Yeah. But the question is, now that you're starting to realize your worth, now that you're starting to realize that you are just as important as everybody else, will you continue to ignore your values to keep the peace? Makes you think. All right, so I know there was a lot of thinking, a lot of writing, a lot of introspection. So class is coming to a close. Guess what? You got homework. And guess what? It's just like everything else. It's not required. It'll be great if you did it, but it's not required. So, homework. If you are creative in any way, shape, or form, if you like to bake, if you like to cook, if you like to write, if you have, oh, well, my notebook's on the floor. If you have a whole bunch of notebooks with poetry or short stories or drawings, if you have a whole bunch of this or that, if you're an artist and you have digital artwork, if you're a storyteller, if you do any of this and you would like to share. So let me tell you about my original thought. When I thought about this back in March, April, yeah, it's been a few months. I was like, oh my goodness, we can have an ebook for PAC students, like a book full of you guys and your creativity. And it can be something that you can be like, I took part in that, you know. So I don't know what kind of interest I'm going to get. I don't know what kind of responses I'm going to get. For an ebook, it would probably need to be like 20 plus pages to be like, this is kind of dope. I don't know if I'm going to get 20 plus responses. So we're kind of taking this, you know, by ear. Like, we'll see what happens. But that was the original thought, was to create a PAC student ebook. So my email address is at the bottom. If you have something you'd like to share, like I said, a recipe, a short story, digital artwork that you've done, send it to me. If it's a recipe, send me the recipe and a picture of the finished product. If it's a story, send it to me. If it's artwork, send it to me. Now, caveat. We are a Catholic organization, okay? You don't have to be Catholic. You don't have to be religious, of course, you know, to attend anything. But y'all can't send me inappropriate stuff and expect me to share it out, okay? Okay. I just want to make sure we're clear. You know, if your digital artwork is something that I can't share with my coworkers in front of a statue of Mary and Jesus, save that for your own personal ebook, okay? So I just need you to be mindful that what you share needs to be appropriate, that, you know, Jesus and Mary can see, okay? So once again, this is not a requirement. This is just a thought that I had that kind of got me excited. So if you have anything you'd like to share, my email address is at the bottom. Send me an email in the next few days. So that is it with class. I'm so grateful that you guys were here with me today. This was a good conversation. I enjoyed it. And I hope you guys were able to get something out of it. Next class is Thursday at 5. It's the exact same class, so there's no need to come back unless you just happen to want to. If you're free on Thursday at 5 and you want to come back and do the class again, you certainly can. I will send you guys an email on Friday, as long as your email is in the chat box, first name, last name, email address. I will send an email on Friday about diapers and where and how you can pick them up. So that is it for today's class. I love you and you are worthy. Bye.